Howdy, so for my project 2, I'm deciding to create a really complex sound from a video game. I chose to create the Gauss Cannon sound from Doom 2016. I have never played this game and I've never heard this sound effect before. In fact, the video I'm going to show you, I've never heard its audio before. I just grabbed this from the internet and I'm going to watch it, see what it looks like it should sound like, make a sound effect for that, and then compare it to the original. So here's what the original video looks like. So it looks like we have a couple different sections to this sound. The first part of this is like when the gun's prepping up. We'll have a lot of clinking and whirring. So let's go raid the garage and find some sound effects. And we're back. Let's record some stuff. So the first thing I want is the sound of the gun moving around. We're going to need some whirring and some clanking metal for this. Let's bust out the microphone. And here's how that sounds after some editing. The next part of this is probably going to be like our energy buildup. Right around here, we're going to see sparks of energy start to flow between the points of this gun. I'm going to use the sound of that fan to represent the generator on the gun. Then we're going to make some synthesizers to create a sci-fi energy building up sound effect. Let's see how everything sounds so far. Next, I think I'm going to get some really low down bass for when this thing actually fires off. The last thing I'm going to need is the transient, or the meat of our explosion. This is probably going to be another synth, since trying to record my own transient can be really, really difficult, especially considering this is a sci-fi game and I don't really have any explosions on hand. So this is definitely going to be a synth. So to help sell the feeling of this transient echoing through the hills and being this long, prolonged thing, I added an echo and reverb effect to it as well. So here's the transient all by itself. And then I'm going to just isolate the reverb that I've added to it, which is shown right here. And then when you combine those together, you get this really cool, like, echoing through the hills effect. And that really helps sell the feeling that this transient is a huge explosion. So I think that's pretty much it. Let's put it all together and see how it sounds. Now let's compare that to the actual sound effect that exists in the game. So that sounded a lot different than my sound effect. The developers were definitely prioritizing clarity over impact for this sound, and after comparing it to mine, I can see why. My sound would be really, really muddy if it was playing over and over and over again in the middle of a firefight. So that's my project 2. I enjoyed making it, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. So here is a tour of the recording studio. I have blankets all over the walls, on every available surface that I could hang something up. I got pillows up in the corners to kind of help with bass traps, and then I've got my microphone here with a pop filter to help with all that voiceover stuff. Down here is where I had the camera set up, and then I had like an underlight to kind of help fill it out, because the top light in this room was not very pleasing to the eye. So that's the recording setup that I have in here. Sorry, it's a very small room, so I can't capture it all in frame at once. So without all this sound treatment, this room has a really bad echo and a really high-pitched ringing sound whenever you make any transient noise. But now I'll test it with a clap, and there's like no echo or any ringing whatsoever, so it worked really well. So in the end, this was a fun project, and I really enjoyed making it. I'll see you in the next one.